We've got a few Cyberpunk 2077 news items for you today, the first of which is patch 1.6, which is being called the Edgerunners update. It coincides closely with the Cyberpunk anime series releasing on Netflix next week. Then there was the full reveal of Phantom Liberty. That's the first expansion for Cyberpunk 2077, which is set to come out next year. And then lastly, it looks like CD Projekt Red is losing yet another veteran developer from the top of the ranks. There's a lot to get into here, so let's talk about the details. All of today's game-specific updates come from patch notes as well as a Night City Wire event that CD Projekt Red hosted and published on Tuesday, September 6th. First up, patch 1.6, the Edgerunners update for Cyberpunk 2077 is actually out now. It coincides strongly with the upcoming Cyberpunk anime releasing on Netflix next week on September 13th. The patch for the game actually includes a ton of updates, but I'm gonna do my best to summarize here. Probably the biggest updates are the addition of cross progression between platforms via cloud saves and a wardrobe improvement that allows you to change your appearance without affecting your armor stats. You can also create and save outfits now. There are 3 new side missions, 6 new firearms, and 5 new melee weapons being added to the game as well. This last one says chainsword? That seems new to me. Let me know in the comments if you know what that is. Maybe the most surprising update is the addition of an endless runner arcade game called Roach Race that you can play in arcades found around Night City, but also it's an iOS and Android app. You play as Geralt's horse Roach from the Witcher series. It's free and there are no microtransactions. There are also tons of bug fixes in the 1.6 patch notes that resolve issues with gameplay, NPCs, weapons, audio, quests, and just open world jank in general. Cyberpunk 2077 clearly still recovering from its launch apocalypse. On the upside, there are some cool improvements as well. The UI is getting cleaned up a bit, there's optimization for Steam Deck, and the Xbox Series S is getting a new performance mode that shoots for 60 frames per second at 900p with resolution scaling. As far as integration with the Cyberpunk anime goes, it looks like some Easter eggs will be added to the in-game world. You can get the same jacket as David Martinez, the protagonist from the anime, and there's also a shotgun that is inspired by the show. If you haven't seen the latest trailer for the Netflix Cyberpunk series and you're over 18, you should go and watch it. It kind of rips. It looks really strong. It's being produced or made by Studio Trigger, so even if the story isn't too great, it's probably going to be really fun to look at. Next up, during the recent Night City Wire update, CD Projekt Red also revealed the name and video trailer for Cyberpunk 2077's first major expansion, which is called Phantom Liberty. The new trailer features V, the protagonist of Cyberpunk 2077, reciting an oath to the new United States of America, and then VO of Johnny Silverhand, the character played by Keanu Reeves, tells V that taking the oath was a bad idea. The description for the trailer on YouTube reads, "Get ready for Phantom Liberty, a spy thriller expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 set in an all-new district of Night City, coming in 2023 to PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, and Stadia." Note that the PS4 and Xbox One are not listed, and that's because CD Projekt Red is finally starting to pull away from the last generation of consoles, which some might argue is a decision they should have made a while ago or maybe even before launch, considering the state of those versions when they released. Cyberpunk 2077 game director Gabriel Amontangelo also said during the Night City Wire event that the 1.6 update would be the last major update for old-gen consoles outside of tech support. He also clarified that any new features and content would only be coming to PC and the current-gen consoles in the future. Other than that, there's not much to say about the expansion, so we're just gonna have to keep our ear to the ground until we hear more. In addition to the new patch and the upcoming DLC, there's another related update that wasn't covered in CD Projekt Red's PR event, and that's the departure of production director Yedze Miraz, who worked at the company for 15 years. As pointed out by VGC, Miraz worked on the original Witcher game way back in 2007. From there, he went on to become a lead tech producer, a senior producer, an executive producer, and then eventually the production director of Cyberpunk 2077. Miraz posted to LinkedIn, "Thank you CD Projekt Red for a spectacular 15 years. See you guys around. I will miss you. time for something new. Developers come and go from game companies. That's not entirely uncommon even across multiple AAA studios, but CD Projekt Red has seen a lot of top talent leave. Just this year, CD Projekt Red has lost design director and principal designer Mateusz Kanik, quality assurance lead Lucas Babiel, senior game designer Andrzej Zawadski, and if you go back to last year, there's even more, including Witcher 3 director Konrad Tomaskiewicz, who was investigated for workplace bullying. Speaking of The Witcher, a significantly improved version of The Witcher 3, The Wild Hunt, is still slated to come out sometime in Q4 of 2022 for PC and next-gen consoles. It's basically the next-gen update, and it's supposed to have a bunch of other features, I guess. And also, apparently, The Witcher 4, which probably isn't going to be called The Witcher 4, is currently in development. All right. That's going to do it for today. Thank you so much for watching. I am so sorry for mispronouncing any of those names and completely butchering them. My apologies. Let me know in the comments if you're willing to give Cyberpunk another chance. Are we on the No Man's Sky track of redemption here, or is this game just a lost cause for you ultimately? Let me know in the comments. Thanks again for watching, and for more video game news and updates, please stay tuned right here to Inside Gaming.